Yeah, okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to another session tonight. I'm your regular host, Anoso Ajami. So I thank you for your support and for your commitment. Please, if I'm audible, can I see your emojis so that to confirm that I'm audible? Oh, beautiful. Awesome. All right. So without wasting much of our time, we need to set out our rules and regulation on this call. Firstly, if truly you know that you want to learn, you are here to learn, please don't write on our screen. Don't disrupt the class. Don't write on the screen. We are all adults. Don't write on the screen, please. It distracts the attention of the facilitators and others. And I don't want to start removing anybody from this call because we all need this session, especially those who are partaking in the 2026 promotion exercise. Like I always said, question can come out anywhere, and at this our level stage, we don't expect anybody to ask you what is memo. Likewise, what is report. Be conversant with any case study and tweet question. So don't say, this woman don't like me or somebody don't like you. No. Either the oral or written or CBT. Don't expect direct question, please. That is why we are running this program. This program is free for anybody that ready to learn and anybody that have time and dedicated him or herself that they want to pass next promotion exercise. And we are doing this. We don't want to leave everything for government. We are serving government and government is serving us too, and we are the government. And the only thing we can do to get back to appreciate government is doing this for free. And I want us to commit ourselves to it. Don't let us take it for granted. Also, I want to appeal to you that please make use of our YouTube channel and navigate to our YouTube library. We have almost about 34 sessions, past sessions there, comprises of, just think about it, a program comprised of any program that has to do with public service rule, financial regulation, scheme of service, just mention. We have it there. All these sessions are not there just for package, but to impart knowledge in us. So we discovered that reading enough cannot solve it, but visuality of what you are reading helps a lot. And I will employ every one of us to make sure that they join our channel, like Telegram channels and WhatsApp. By next week, as we promise, we are waiting for circular to roll out from Civil Service Commission. So by next week, we will start sending the material that you need to guide you in our channel. Audio material of all our sessions, what you need to know, and other material to guide you. And we also recommend some textbook for you. So we are waiting for the circular to know the area of concentration. So we target that and we hammer that. We make it easy for you when you get to the promotional panel. And I believe that all of us here on this call are ready to excel in the next promotion exercise. Congratulations to all of us in advance. And please don't let us forget that why do we start this exercise. Please focus, listen attentively, note, jot, and make use of all our channel to ask questions. We have professionals on that channel, Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel. Ask questions. You can, if you want to ask questions anonymously, you can pick any of our professionals there. They are all civil servants. You don't have external there. Or you can private chat me. I will link you up. Please, don't be shy in getting your achievement. To achieve goal in life, you need some support. And that's the support we are providing now. Please, don't say because it's free. I know that if you pay for it, you have to take it seriously. But nevertheless, this free knowledge sharing can take you to next level. And I believe we are all ready to fly higher, to make Lagos State government proud, so that if governor is seeing you, because after promotion exercise, our commission writes our report back to our governor, because the promotion exercise funded by the governor of Lagos State, and he's trying his best to make sure that we all be part and be par with all other private sectors. So I won't wait. I would like to see the next year reports to governor on our performance in next year promotion exercise. Please help us to help you. Let us get your feedback. Make use of that our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Why you need to subscribe is that's the only way you can support us, so that we can this program can recommend all over the world through YouTube community. We want to be part of YouTube community, but how can we do that? Is by you supporting us. Subscribe. On my channels, I have almost about 6,000 members, but on the YouTube subscribe, we are seeing only 1,000. So you need to support us, please, and please, and please. So let's go into the business of the day. Thank you very much once again. Sorry. Okay. Okay, before I go into our facilitators profile, as usual, let me quickly recognize the presence of all participants. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, distinguished colleague and value member of Public Service Knowledge of Family. Welcome to another enlightening edition of our year 2026 tutorial series. a platform where we learn, share, and grow together as proud Lagos State civil servants. Tonight's session focuses on one of the most essential pillars of effective administration: official communication. As public servants, how we communicate, whether through memos, reports, or submissions, reflects not only our professionalism, but also the image and integrity of the service we represent. This session, titled Mastering Official Communication: Understanding Memos, Reports, and Submission in the Public Service, promise to equip us with practical insights on structure, tone, and presentation of official correspondences in line with the public service rules and administrative best practice. So as we settle down this evening, let's open our minds and take notes of what will enhance our efficiency and communication confidence in our daily duties. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our facilitator tonight is Mr. Abari Jamiu Ajibola. Mr. Abari is a product of Ireti School, Ikoyi, and Akonde Downs Memorial High School, also in Ikoyi. He attended the Lagos State School of Business Study, Ajele, Lagos Island, before proceeding to Ondo State University, Ado Ekiti, now Ekiti State University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in banking and finance. He also holds a master's degree in public and international affairs from the prestigious University of Lagos. Before joining the Lagos State Civil Service, Mr. Abari worked with arbitrage consulting, a firm specializing in stockbroking research and training. He joined the service in September 1999 as an administrative officer, grade level 8, and has since served diligently across several MDAs of the state government. Within just 8 months of joining the service, his dedication and excellence earned him recognition as the best officer senior category in the Ministry of Finance, a remarkable feat at the time when Mr. Olawale Edun was commissioner and Mr. Yakubu Balogun was the permanent secretary. He later became pioneer head of administration at the Lagos State Microfinance Institution and currently serves as a deputy director in the Service Matter Department, Public Service Office. Mr. Abari is a full member of the Charter Institute of Personnel Management, MCIPM, and the Association of Human Resource Practitioners of Nigeria. He has attended several high-level training and workshops, both locally and internationally, including the Innovation in Public Service course in London, leadership course at the National Institute of Policy and Strategy Studies, KURU, JOS, and effective coaching scheme for leaders, Abuja. He also facilitated sessions at the Reverse Structure Training Program, RSTP, for the 2023 and 2024 promotion exercises, and served as rapporteur and secretariat member at the several major state events. Beyond his professional life, Mr. Abari is a sociable, a member of Lagos State Public Service Club, Eco Club, and the Men International. He is a devout Muslim, happily married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I want you with your emojis to welcome Mr. Facilitator tonight, Mr. Abari, Jamil. We have almost about more than 500 on the call. I'm seeing only 2 people emojis. Should we end today? Should we end the call? It seems you don't want to see. Out of 500, and then we have another 500 on YouTube live streaming. Okay, thank you very much. You welcome Mr. Abari. So let me unmute my Oga. I forgot to add. Unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I forgot to add that Mr. Abari is a professor. So he's a professor. So bear that in mind. That's
professor by association.
By association. All right. That's nice. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, on this call tonight. I welcome you all, and I want to believe this evening we'll have a fruitful and a very rewarding discussion. Yeah, I say it's a discussion because most of us will know that official communication is usually an important aspect in the public service. There's no way you want to work as a civil servant that you have never come across what a memo is, or you've not written a memo, you've not written a report, you've not written a submission, particularly at this level that we are. Basically, I want to believe majority of those that are on this call are senior officers and management staff. So basically, memo and report writing and submission writing should not be a new thing to us. So I will only be guiding us in what we might likely areas that we need to actually focus on. Because in writing a memo or in writing a report or a submission, what is important is you need to have a good command and a good control of the English language. Without that, there's nothing I want to tell you here. I'm not an English teacher or an English expert. We all learn it. At a point in time, when I was still very young in service, I read the Brighter Grammar 1, Grammar 2, and Brighter Grammar 3 in order to improve myself. But at the time when I came to service, that was the time when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu set up a committee to look into the privatization of Lagos State enterprise. So my immediate boss then, who retired as a permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mrs. Ebun Oladimeji, was the secretary to that committee. While myself and Mrs. Brahman now is in the ministry, is in the office of chief of staff. We served then as the co-secretary. And we did that meeting for almost on a daily basis for 6 months, every day for 6 months. So that was actually a training ground for me. So at the junior level, that is where we need to have familiarized ourselves with memo writing, report writing, and submission writing, so that we know the basis. Because like I said, there's nothing I want to teach you here. I am not an English teacher, and nor am I like the said professor. I'm not a professor of English. Neither am I an expert in English. We all are learning English language. So the basic thing here is, if you are not good, if you don't have a good command of the English language, you will still have problem. So like I said, what I'm going to try to do is to explain to us what memo is, what report writing is, and submission, and try to explain the futures, the area that we might expect that questions might be asked in the exam. So in the state public sorry, like I mentioned, memos and reports are a form of documents that we use in generating policies, to make requests, to state to state problem areas where we want our superior officers to have knowledge of. So basically, we'll look at why. Okay, the next slide, Jamie. The next slide, please. So let's look at why. The next slide. This is the introduction. I'm done with the introduction. Let's look at why official communication matters in state public service. No, the one before this. The one before, no, back. Yeah, okay, yes, thank you. So why? There might be more than this, but this is just my own understanding of why written communication in the state public service. I know there are other reasons why they are, but the first one here is it creates a permanent record for decision, for approval, and for accountability. Because once you write that submission, it becomes a document in which decisions are made, in which approval are granted, and somebody is held accountable for the documents that have been produced. It also ensures consistent application of rules. Definitely, we all know that the public service is guided by rule, by extant regulation, by memo, and all of that. We are guided. We are a regimented service. There are always rules that guide every steps of our endeavor in the state public service. So it's effective memo writing. I mean, writing communication in the state public service ensure oversight and support continuity when staff change. Assuming I am in a ministry now, whatever I might have written, it is documented and it becomes a reference point for any officer that is coming to take over my schedule. It is documented, becomes a reference point that it allows for continuity. There's no need to now say, okay, we are looking for a particular document. We need to go and call Mr. Barry because it is documented and it is archived and we can have access to it. So basically, these are some of the reasons why official written communication matters in the state public service. Then you want to ask, in all of this, what are the prerequisite skills? What do you need? What skills are you supposed to possess? Soft skill that you need to possess for you to be a good memo writer, a good report writer, and a good submission writer. So basically, we have about 3 areas or 4 areas that we want to cover in this regard. So one, we have conceptualization. The next slide, please. Conceptualization and initiation skill. The concept, what you want to write, you must conceptualize it. Have it in your brain to say, okay, this is the area I want to write on. You need to be an expert, as admin officer. Some will call us jack of all trades, because as an admin officer, you want to have moved from ministry to ministry, and it's expected that you have basic knowledge of certain area. Perhaps you might work in the Ministry of Health. There is nothing you want to talk about in the Ministry of Health that at least you have basic idea, basic knowledge of what is going on. So the conceptualization of your writing, you need to conceptualize it, visualize it before you now put it down. Like I said, there are skills in writing. You need to have a good command of the English language and understand punctuation marks. All of these skills, if you don't have, I bet you, there is nothing I want to tell you here that can this night improve your skill in memo writing or report writing or submission writing. Then you have to think critically, because there is a subject matter that you are writing on. So critical thinking is another skill that is important, because you cannot visualize and think ahead, think of the present situation of what you are writing on and the future outlook of what you are writing on. That gives you an understanding of what the subject matter is, and you'll be able to present your write-up in a very clear and concise manner. Then we have relational. Relational here is your interaction with you. Ask question. Perhaps there might have been such a project or subject matter that you are writing on. You need to consult and make research on the subject matter that you are writing on, particularly when it has to do with submission and report writing. You need to consult widely. You need to have the ability to research and read wide on the subject matter so that you can have a good understanding and a good command of what you are writing on. Then the writing skill. This you cannot do without. What you don't have, you cannot give. This is what you have that you can give. You cannot write. If you don't have a good writing skill and a good knowledge or good understanding of the English language, there is no way you can write effectively. Then communication skill. So before I go further, in the state public service, like I said, we are guided by rules and regulation. And in writing all of this, either memo, either reports, we have other forms of communication too in service. We still have minutes, we have minutes of meeting and all of that. So there are styles and there are rules that guides how we write in the state public service. There's a circular 149 of 18th November 2015, which specifically guide us on the format of writing. The next slide, please. So the next slide actually is the circular that I had mentioned. So this circular 149 of 18th November 2015 actually spells out the mode and form of writing, format of writing official correspondence in the state public service. So basically, there are two formats that are recognized in the service. We have the indented and the block format. From this circular, this circular actually recognizes the indented format. So the indented, what is meant by the indented, if you look at your right-hand side, you will see that the sentences start a bit inward. It starts a bit inward. But for the block, everything starts on the horizontally on the left-hand side. That is the block format. And what you are seeing here is the indented format. And that is the format that has been approved in the state public service. Another important thing that we need to note from this circular is that if you are using the indented format of writing, you are to sign on the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom, as you can see here, on the bottom right-hand corner. If it is blocked, it is on the left-hand side corner of your writing. So we need to note this as well, because in the exam, you might be asked to write a memo or a report or a submission. You need to know that this is the existing circular in the service. I don't know of any, but if you have anybody on the call that know of any other circular aside from this, you please let me know. So this is what I know that is the acceptable format of official correspondence in the state public service. So perchance you might be asked to write a report, know that this is the format that whatever you want to write will take, either your memo or your report or your submission. This is the approved format. Then we will now move to what a memo is. So we have internal memo and we have external memo, as well as what we call ESCO memo. They are all memos. If you are talking about short internal memo are usually short. What I have done here is actually addressing internal memo, which is within a department or within a unit of government. It is meant to pass message to other members of staff of a particular MDA. Like I said, we have external memo too that will go to other ministries, but all of them take the same shape, either internal or external, take the same shape. The one that is different is the ESCO memo. The ESCO memo is more broad and contains more information than an internal memo. So there are formats for the ESCO memo. If you want to look at this, because there is probability those of us that are on management level, we could be asked that come up with an ESCO memo on a given subject matter. So ESCO memo is usually generated, is a property of Lagos State government and is generated by the political head of that MDA to be discussed at the ESCO level. You have the Lagos State government logo at the top. I shared a sample of internal memo here, but for the ESCO memo, I did not share that because that could amount to what government will say exposing certain documents. So I will only use a internal memo sample to guide us in our discussion. So basically for the ESCO memo will have the state government logo at the top with the word secrets. Then you will have what we call the subject matter. What is the issue? What are you talking about? Like in form of a heading. Subject matter, maybe you could say construction of pedestrian bridge at Onipan. That could be the subject matter of your memo, which will be presented by the Honorable Commissioner of that ministry. Then you have the introduction. The introduction will explain in a concise manner what is the subject matter. You have the subject matter at the top. Your introduction will now elaborate a bit on what is the issue. That, okay, we are around Onipanu, we've observed that over time, we've experienced death due to pedestrian crossing the express road. And this does not project the state government in a good image amongst the citizenry. So you find a way of explaining what the situation is by starting with an introduction to the subject matter. Then you have the statement of the problem. What are the problems? What are the crossing of the express road? What has it resulted into? And you have to support that with statistics, with data to bring your submission to life. Don't forget, we are talking about the ESCO memo, because ESCO memo is usually debated. Once the political head presents at ESCO, it does not just fly. It will be discussed, people will contribute, they will critique before it is finally approved by the ESCO. Then you have what was the situation. Definitely the situation will be that there was no pedestrian bridge there, but the future outlook will now be you suggesting that there should be a pedestrian bridge around that area. And you try as much as possible to explain the benefits and justification of that submission. You need to justify it, why this submission is necessary. Then you go to what we call the conclusion or your prayer. Your prayer actually states what exactly you are requesting for. You can now say, Mr. Governor is hereby invited to consider and approve the construction of, if you like I said, you need to have statistics, maybe a 50-meter long, 100-meter long, with roofing, with side walls, or all of that has to be in the prayer. What exactly is the prayer? You have to say, if there is financial implication to it, it will be stated. And it will be stated who the contractor is, because that too has to be approved. That the construction of so will be handled by Masters, this, and that. And there will be a signature and a date on it. So basically, in summary, that is the outline of an ESCO memo, no more, no less. So what is the purpose of a memo? Like we have, it gives requests and seek information, in that you are to give or to request for information on a particular subject, but particularly when you are talking about internal memo. You could say you are writing from a unit of a ministry, a department of a ministry to another. We will see a sample of the memo in the next slide. So let me just quickly explain this. Then I will use the sample of the memo to still explain further. So you can use that in an internal memo to request for information from other units. Okay, we want to know how many number of staffs are in this cadre, how many are in this cadre, how many are in this cadre. Or to request for information, we want to know, we are preparing our leave advice for a particular year. You can write internal memo to other units or other departments within the ministry to request for the information of officer on when they want to go on leave and the different dates. So memos too can be is used to make or seek clarification on an issue. Maybe there's an issue within the ministry that you need clarification on, because it is internal rather than, in service. We are supposed to document. It's not by word of mouth. It is always about documentation and documentation, because you don't base whatever judgment or whatever you are writing on hearsay, or somebody says this is the situation, because the person can deny and say, I didn't say so, I didn't give you this information. But once it is reason and once it is written, it becomes clear and it's objective and it is documented. So as well, it could be used to convey instruction or directive. Maybe you have the directive of your accounting officer on a particular subject. You can use that to seek instruction and to give directive that the superior officer has given to you to other members of staff of a department or of a unit. Then we say to transmit documents. Perhaps there's a report or there is a document that you need to transmit to other department, rather than taking it by hand to such unit or to such department. Internal memo can be used to transmit such documents. Like we normally write in service, directed to forward, so, and it becomes a document. It is acknowledged and it is archived. Then we have request for approval in normal everyday writing. Perhaps maybe we want to train our staffs and we need to get the buy-in or get the approval, the initial approval of the permanent secretary or the accounting officer to say so category of officers has been identified to need training in a particular area, and thereby you are seeking the approval that this officer should be allowed to go for such training in order to broaden their knowledge on a particular subject matter. So in a nutshell, the purpose of a memo, either internal memo or external memo, or even the ESCO memo, is to give and request for information, make or seek clarification on an issue, to convey instruction or directive, to transmit documents or report, as well as to request for approval for routine matters. So in a nutshell, memo is a short official note or letter used for internal communication within or between ministries, departments, or even a unit of the state government. Like I said, this definition, mind you, is actually speaking to internal memo. I've taken my time to go through what ESCO memo is and the outline of what an ESCO memo should look like. So this will take us to the next item, the next slide. And this speaks to the futures. What are the futures of a memo? Either it is internal memo or it is external memo or even the ESCO memo. For the internal memo, that's to be brief and straight to the point. No ambiguity, no use of verbose language. Simple, concise, that anybody, and this actually speaks to whatever you are writing. Either you are writing a memo or you are writing a report or you are writing a submission, it has to speak for you, because you don't have to be there when someone will be reading what you are presenting. your memo or your submission will speak for you. Okay, go and call this guy. Go and call Mr. Barry. I don't understand what he has written here. Your memo should represent you. Your report should represent you. Likewise, your submission should represent you. So whatever you are writing, you don't have to be there to be explaining. The memo will speak for you. So it has to be, it has a clear subject line. Like I said, while I was presenting a framework for the ESCO memo, it must have a subject matter. Either it is an internal memo or external memo, there must be a subject matter. Construction of pedestrian bridge at Onipan bus stop. That is a subject matter. Request for approval to purchase 10 cartons of toner for the use of so. It must have a subject matter, which forms the heading. Then often includes a reference number. Definitely, because you'll be taking a memo. There's nowhere in the public service that you just write and forward. There must be a file. You have to have a file that you use to convey that message. And that file will definitely have a reference number. So there will be a reference number on whatever memo you are writing, either internal or external. There must be a reference number and as well as a date. If you are writing a memo or a report or whatever and does not carry a date, then there will be a question mark as to when was this decided and when was this brought up. So your memo, part of the feature, is that it must have a reference number as well as a date. Then, written in a formal and courteous tone. We'll still get to this while discussing our subject matter. In the state public service, there are formats, and I've explained the format using circular 149 of 18th of November 2015. It spells out the format in which formal communication and formal writing are presented in the state public service. We'll still get to this in the course of our discussion. Then the signature. It must be signed. A document that is presented that is not signed, that means cannot be anonymous. You don't have anonymous submission or anonymous report, anonymous memo in the state public service. It must be signed. So the next slide simply gives us a sample of what an internal memo. Like I said, I don't intend sharing a sample of an ESCO memo here. No, before this, Yami, please go over here. No. After this. No. It should be before this. Before this. Yes, before this. Yes. Thank you. So this is a sample of a memo. But this actually speaks to an internal memo. Even if it's an external memo, it still takes the same format because it has to come with the state government logo, must be there. Then you have the office where the memo is coming from. Then you have where it is coming from, like the example you are seeing here. This actually emanates from the office of the permanent secretary to the director, welfare matters. Just using a sample to explain. Then I talked about reference number. You can see the reference number that starts with LS/S580/S3 volume 2. But all of these has their own meaning. And I will briefly explain what each one of them represents. The LS, you will know, stands for Lagos State Government. Then slash, all of this is just to have an easy identification of subject matter, of files. You see S there, S589 actually says that document is a secret document. And the number of that document, of that file, is 589. Then you have the volume, which is volume 2. That means there had been an initial volume, the first one that was open. You know, in the service, a file that's gotten up to 100 folio, it's advisable that such file has become so large, and that such volume have to be closed. And you not close such file when the file gets to 100. You allow to get to maybe like 110, 120. You will not take from 101. It has to be closed when it is 100. You now take from 101 to another file, and you now put volume 2. Then the last number there is the page number of that file. The 349 that you are seeing is the page number of the file. So that if you are minuting, you will all know that the front cover of our file actually has what we call the folio, where you enter where the file is coming from, the date, and where the file is going. So once this number is written, 347, the person knows that he is just to open straight to page 347. So then you have the heading, then you have a brief introduction. And like I said, the format of writing, this you can see is the indented format of writing. And the first opening paragraph is usually assumed to be number 1. In the state public service, our writings are numbered. The opening paragraph is assumed to be number 1, but you don't put 1 there. It's the second paragraph that you will now put 2, as you can see here, 2, so that this makes for easy referencing. So that if there is a particular information that needs to be expatiated on, say, paragraph 3, one could easily write, kindly refer to paragraph 3 of the submission above, or kindly refer to paragraph 2 of the submission on folio 347. It makes easy referencing and makes our job more easier, because you can easily locate where the issues are, where exactly your attention is needed on that memo or report or submission. So this will take us to report. The next slide, please. So reports. So say report is a formal document that provides detailed information. Could be a finding, it could be a recommendation on a particular issue or activity or event. A report are often prepared after an assignment or investigation meeting or a project. You are writing a report on a particular subject matter. Maybe there is an incident that happened, and the incident has been investigated, and you need to write a report, or you are sent on an assignment. It could even be a training, and you'll be expected to write a report on that assignment that you've attended, attended. It could be an investigative a report. It could be a report on a meeting that you attended on behalf of your accounting officer, or on a project or an assignment that you have handled. So basically, it is a detailed information or findings or recommendation in a particular issue that you've been asked to write upon. Then types of reports, where we have routine, that could be more. Like I said, we have routine report, which is a periodic, could be a weekly report, a daily report, or a monthly report on a particular subject matter. Maybe a departmental issue or a departmental activity that you need to write routinely on. It's a periodic report that you have to, it is a continuous thing. It's something that you do regularly. A daily report, a weekly report, or a monthly report, quarterly report, or an annual report. Then we have the special reports. These are written on special issues or events that occur outside regular routine, such as report on the staff boss and training incident that occurred sometime in 2023, specifically on the 9th of March 2023. That because that is an incident, it is a special report. It's not a regular occurrence. it was brought up because there was an incident, and you need and their information needed on that particular incident. So that is where you have a special report. It could even be a report on the, like I mentioned here. We've just concluded the 2025 public service week. The accounting officer can request, okay, I want a report on the activity of the 2025 public service week, so that it can be documented and be archived, so that could be a reference material for future planning of such an event. Then we have the purpose of a report. Next slide, please. So the purpose of a report is to present facts. If you are reporting on an investigation, on an investigative matter, you have to present the facts, the finding, or a conclusion on an issue. Maybe there have been an issue that have been dragging on, that have been investigated, and you want to report formally to a superior authority that these and these are the issues, these are our findings that we've come up with, and these are our recommendation and our conclusion. So when you are writing a report, there must be a fact-finding issue. What are the facts? What are the issues? There must be a conclusion, and as well, and there must be your request on that issue. Then we have to evaluate performance or progress. We'll be hard to have what we call assessment performance of staff members. That too is another form of report. And that kind of report will focus on the evaluation of the performance and progress made on staff performance. Then we have to document official activity, or is it like I mentioned earlier, the train bus incident of 2023, that could form a government decision paper that could be used for future referencing. So we have to provide evidence or information for decision taking. Like I said, every communication has a way of resulting in decision making, and it has a way of providing information on a particular subject area. So the purpose of a report is as well to provide evidence or information for decision making, then to serve as reference material. This I had mentioned earlier. Then we have the features of a report. So one of the important features of a report is that it will definitely have a clear title and a date. This I mentioned while we are talking about memo as well. There is no way you will be writing a report or you will be writing a memo that does not have a title. It must have a title and it must have a date. Those are the features that is expected in a report. Definitely, there must be a title. Then report most of the time comes first with the executive summary. It comes with the executive summary because we have executives that are busy. I mean, our OGAs, our upline, our accounting officer. By the time you present a voluminous report, maybe a 100-page report, they might not really have the time to go through the 100 pages or 200 pages or 400-page reports. So the executive summary summarizes the entire report, maybe to a 10-page material or a 15-page material, so that easily that will explain in a concise manner what the voluminous report, because we have reports that has volumes. You have volumes 1 of a report, volume 2. So there will be an executive summary of every report, so that those that will take decision will have a clear understanding from the executive summary. Once there is an executive summary, that explains the voluminous report that you are bringing in. Because of executive time, you will not really have the time to really go through all the report that you are presenting. But the executive summary will explain in details the findings, the issues of the subject matter, the issues that come up, your recommendation, and the way forward. So that is important, and it is a thing that needs to be done while presenting a report, an executive summary of the report that you are writing. Then we have another feature of a report is that information provided should be in organized and logical way. Like I said, you will start with the introduction of what the subject is. You can go to the interim findings, what were the issues, what are the findings at each level, what were the, that could even be minority reports, but there could even be other issues that are not directly related to the report you are writing, but that will serve as an addendum to the report itself. So it should be in an organized and logical way. Then often includes sections like the introduction, the finding. I think I mentioned this earlier. That's the introduction. It has the finding, the discussion. The discussion here actually addresses what were the issues, what led to this issue, what is the current issue, and what is the future outlook of the subject matter or the issue that you are writing on. Then you have the recommendation. Then the writing should be objective and based on facts, not opinion, because the report you'll be writing will form a basis for decision making. So that is why you have to be objective about what you are writing and should be based on facts that had been found, not based on your personal opinion. If you want to based on personal, that's why I say we have minority reports could be there, that in our finding we also note that this, so that it can be considered. We have in decision making, we have minority opinion. So minority opinion will still be part of the report for decision taker to look at. So basically, this explains the features of a report. Then I want to explain briefly to make a distinction, because we in the state state government, the state public service, we have what we call the white papers. This too is a form of report, but there are differences between the normal report that we write and a white paper report. Like I said, it is still a report, but why it is called a white paper is that forms the final opinion of the government. That you can see the report, it emanates, that the report will emanate from committee, from panel that are set up, or from commission of inquiry that are set up. But the white paper is the government's paper, emanates from the government. That is what the committee, the panel, or the commission has presented to the government. So once you hear white paper report, you are thinking government. Then we have report is a finding and recommendation. A white paper is either the acceptable or the rejected recommendation of government, the government's actual position on the report that you have presented. Mind you, you could present a report, but that does not make that report the final position of the government. Until when the white paper comes out, that will be the final decision of government on that subject matter. That is why I write here, it is the accepted or rejected recommendation of the government. Then report is to form government decision. That report will now be used to generate and communicate government official position or official decision on the subject matter of that report. Your report, yes, you've submitted, but that your report is not the final position of government. Not until when government reviews and look at it objectively and holistically, it now becomes a white paper report. And that is what we communicated to the public as the government position on that subject matter. I hope this is clear and I'm making sense all along. If we still go to question and answer, if there are questions on what I've said so far. But if at this level, I want to understand that you are flowing with me and we are making sense. So now we'll go to submission. Submission. So submission in a simple sentence, or in a mild way, I would say is a formal document used to seek policy decision, seek financial approval, or executive action from higher authorities such as the permanent secretary, the head of service, or Mr. Governor. It is more comprehensive and structured than a memo. You know, like I said, we said a memo, looking at, don't mind me, looking at internal memo now, must be short and concise and straight to the point because you're only passing a message. But a submission is more of a comprehensive write-up. It's more of a comprehensive write-up. It's not structured in nature. We have submission on various subject matter. It could be on training. It could be on promotion. It could be on the procurement of certain items. Submission varies, depends on the subject matter. And that is what we do. Particularly those of us that are admin officer. There is no day that you will not write a submission because there are issues every day. And you will write a submission on various issues, on various subject matter, on a on everyday basis. So now I said it is a formal document used to seek policy decision because your submission, at the end of your submission, there is always a request or there is always a prayer. Your submission cannot be complete until you seek for approval or you seek for a recommendation or you seek for a position from higher authority. So what are the purpose of a submission? Because every one of these communication material has their own purpose. Although they are interwoven, basically they are all information. They are all used to pass information. But submission, most of the time, is to seek approval for maybe minor projects, maybe on policy change or on infrastructure. Infrastructure here speaks to expenditure, expenses that you want to incur, procurement, you want to procure certain items. So you cannot just go to your accounting officer by word of mouth to say, I need money, I want to buy this. You have to come up with a structured submission with justification, with the reason why you want to buy it, your usefulness, and all of that. Then you come up with, definitely there is a vote of charge for every items that you, for every vote head. You code the vote head, you code the balance, but we'll get there as we progress in this. So we say submission is to present a recommendation on matter requiring top-level decision. Then to convey official proposal. Maybe there's a training proposal, there is a proposal from an agency, or there's a proposal even from the private sector. They are seeking government patronage on a particular subject matter. You can use that to convey official proposal and to for higher authority to take a decision on the subject matter. So to present position on a correspondence, on a daily basis, we get correspondence from different MDAs, different entities, different organizations. There are some of them that you don't just archive or just file. There are some of them that you need to write a submission on. like a summary of what the proposal is. And that is what we will now be presenting. Like I said, because of our accounting officer's busy schedule, there is a proposal. You cannot just present the proposal as it is. You have to do a summation on it and bring out the salient points, the issues that that proposal speaks to, so that you can seek approval. That is to say, it presents the position of correspondent. This correspondent is from the Ministry of Mineral Resources, and they are seeking our collaboration in the area of electrification of the entire Alausa complex, as well as the first, something like that, and to present to authority for approval. Then what are the features of submission? The next slide, please. So let's bear in mind, like I said at the beginning of our discussion, I am not an English major. I cannot start telling you this is how to write a submission. I can only take you through the purposes and the future, because that is the area where you'll be tested. I cannot start teaching you brighter grammar now, or tenses, or punctuation marks. These are things that I assume and I believe that you ought to have known before now. So this is just a guide to, in case in the exam, from the briefing that we received yesterday, we were told there's going to be a CBT. Then immediately after the CBT, there's going to be a written, like the chairman commission said, a written assessment, not written exam. I know she chose that word carefully in order not to create anxiety or fear in us, because people are already saying, they say the attendance is going to write exam, and she keeps saying, somebody is saying he or she can't hear me. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, please let me see your emoji. Can every other member on the course hear me? Thank you, because I saw someone that just reason that he or she cannot write, cannot hear me.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, like I said, I'm not here to teach you English language. I am here to share with you what a memo looks like, what a report looks like, what a submission looks, and things that are expected to be in a memo, or to be in a report, or to be in a submission. So every other thing, it is in your purview. The way you want to structure, the way you want to write your submission, the way you want to write your report. Talking about the English now, it is for you to determine that. So the future of submission, if a submission will start with summary of what the approver is seeking. Like we said, don't forget, we have said the style is the indented format, and I've shared the circular with you that explains this. It is the indented format, and I want to believe by now we all understand what I mean by indented. So, like I said, you have the heading. The heading itself prepare the mind of the reader to what you are writing. Once he sees the reader, request for the purchase of stationery items for first and second quarter 2025. Request for the training of junior officer within grade level 03 and 06 will be the heading, various heading. Then immediately after the heading, you could have the opening paragraph. Like I said, the opening paragraph is usually assumed to be paragraph number 1, but that one is invincible. You don't write 1. You don't write 1, but the opening paragraph is assumed to be paragraph number 1. Then you now start with 2. Paragraph 2. Your paragraph 2 now will now provide a background of the subject matter for discussion. What has been? We want to train officers. The background will be that these officers have been in this ministry for 3 years, 4 years, and they've not gone through training on ethics. They've not gone through training on work evaluation and all of that. You give a background to the subject matter. This has been happening. This is the issue. These are the problems that we're facing. That will form your paragraph number 2. Then your paragraph number 3 will now be the justification for the request. Why are you seeking to train junior officer on grade level 3 to grade level 6? What will be the benefit to them and to the organization? You justify the reason why you want that to be done. Then you can take us a bit further by telling us the benefits. What impact will that have on the officer as well as the organization and even co-worker of the officer that you are sending on training? Because it could be a train the trainer seminar or training, so that when they come back, they too will now teach those that did not really actually attend the training, and everybody will benefit in the long run. Because once they understand what they've gone to do and they come back to cascade what they have learned, it becomes a win-win for everybody. So your next paragraph will now be the justification. Why this? Why that? This, if it is done, it will lead to this. This, if it is not done, it will lead to this. That is what you'll be talking of under justification. Then explain the implication. 1, if it is of financial nature, or if it is of legal nature, or if it's of administrative nature. You cannot just present a submission to government and say, come and spend money. And the accounting officer will just append the signature. You have to justify. You have to let us know what is the financial implication. What are the legal issues on this matter that you are presenting? If you need to seek the input of the Ministry of Justice on the subject matter, you need to consult with the Ministry of Justice so that they can give you the legal angle of this issue. Because like while I was still a younger officer in service, let me quickly share this experience so that this will explain, this will make you understand what I'm trying to explain. At some level, I think I was on level 8 or level 9, around 2000, 2003, 2004. My immediate boss, Mr. U.P. Bizan, is retired now. A very fine gentleman and a quintessential admin officer. I give it to him. I understudied him. He was part of those that trained me in service, as well as Mrs. Oladimeji, Mr. OCFR, and the likes. So there was this, I was in the insurance and Estaco department, then the Ministry of Finance. I think that department is still there. So normally, when there are reports, when there are requests for permission to travel abroad, we have to process the Estacos for officers. And we have a circular that guides us on Estaco matters and overseas travel matters. So it was the then deputy governor that wanted to travel abroad. That was Mr. Femi Pedro. He wanted to travel abroad. By providence or by chance or whatever, the present governor, Mr. Olushola Sanwo-Olu, was, I think, personal assistant corporate matters to Mr. Femi Pedro. They were using Block 10 then, where we have Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure and Ministry of Tourism. That was where the deputy governor was using them. So they come up with this submission that the deputy governor was traveling abroad and they have embedded in that submission what we call contingency allowance. And from the extant regulation, from the extant rule, contingency allowance is for delegation of 4. Once the delegation that are traveling are 4 in number or more, they will be issued contingency allowance, not for one person. Remember, it was only the deputy governor that was traveling, and embedded in that submission was contingency allowance. So when I saw it, I raised the flag that this is not supposed to be part of what the deputy governor ought to enjoy. Alhaji Yakubu Balogun, who later become the head of service, was my permanent secretary then. So normally we'll take it to him. As at then, my immediate boss, Mr. Bizan, was on leave. So I was the one that was writing the submission. Then I think I was on level 9 or level 10. So I took the submission to my permanent secretary, Alhaji Yakubu Balogun, and said, okay, go to, because normally that is what he will always tell us. He will ask us to go with the extant rule and every document and go and discuss with the officer concerned. Definitely, I can't go to the deputy governor. So that was what took me to the present governor, Mr. Olusola Sanwo-Olu. So when I got to his office, himself and one other man, I think it's Mr. Ajomale. Don't know where the man is now. I can't remember his first name, but I know it's Mr. Ajomale. The 2 of them worked directly with Mr. Femi Pedro. So when I got there, I tried to explain to Mr. Governor that, sir, these and these and these and these and these and this. He said, can't I see Mr. Governor's red biro that Mr. Governor has approved? You should go and work on it. I said, it does not work like that, that this is the rule. Contingency allowance is for a contingent of 4 or more that are traveling abroad. It's not for one person. So he said I should wait. He went to meet the deputy governor and explained to Mr. Femi Pedro. So that one came and meet us in Mr. Governor's office. And he said, gentlemen, what is the issue? So I tried to explain. He asked me what was my name. I told him my name. He said, ṣé o mọ̀ pé ọmọ ilé kan náà ni wà ní? Àbí o mọ̀ pé ọmọ Ẹ̀pẹ́tẹ̀dọ̀ ni mí ni? And things like that. And I said, sir, these and these and these and these are the issue. Where I'm actually going, to cut the long story short, is that requests in service, you don't do it on word of mouth. It has to be documented. And if it's not documented, this is exactly where I'm going. And if it's not documented and there's a discussion, my oga then, Mr. Bisan, UP Bisan, may God bless him for me. He trained me well and I understand the job. And ever since, I've never forgotten that phrase. He says, if you are given an instruction to go and do something verbally, you don't have to argue. There's no need arguing, because that will create a problem between you and your superior officer. I tell you, I give you an instruction and the directive, and you don't want to carry carry out the directive. No problem, no issue. There's no need arguing. Just go gently, carry your file. Your opening paragraph should be, we discuss. Kindly recall that we discuss. That will be your opening paragraph. Because when Mr. Pedro was asking me that I should go and do it, that Mr. Governor has approved and things like that, I was like, it's okay, no problem. There's no need for arguing. I don't have to argue with him. I just went back to the office, and because my oga was not around, Mr. Bisak, and that was my exact opening paragraph, and I forwarded it. Before I went to write, I went to my permanent secretary, Yakubu Balogun, and he said, since the deputy governor said go and do it, oh yeah, go and do it now. And I was like, yeah, go and do it. Wow. And I wrote, sir, we discuss. I wrote my first paragraph, second paragraph. And another thing that he told me then was that towards your prayer, there is another phrase that he told me. Just put, you may wish to. If your superior officer knows the implication of that, and he knows that will create problem, he will never, because you have not recommended. You've only said you may wish to so. If he knows there's a problem, lie on Vire, he will not append his signature. He would rather keep it somewhere. So what I'm trying to explain here is that if you are writing a submission that has financial implication, that has legal implication, please seek advice, because you see a whole lot of issues on things like this. Seek advice, because by the time you write it, the accounting officer who you wrote, you can say, I didn't know, you are supposed to advise me, especially our political head. You are a civil servant now. You brought it to me. I was not aware of this one. I was not aware of this one. You know, normally when they come to service, we don't take them through financial regulation or public service rule or extant rule, all of this. They will say, you are the one that advised me now. It's your advice that I follow. So be mindful. Then end with a clear prayer. There must be a prayer, like for memo, like for reports, there must be a prayer, your recommendation, this and this. And if it's a submission that has financial implication, note that you will need to quote the VOC, that is the vote of charge, the vote into which the money to be expended will be taken from, and as well as the balance as at the date you are writing that submission. You will say, kindly approve that the sum of so be approved for the procurement of so. You now say the fund will be sourced from VOC. You put, you know, all those slash from that Ministry of Budget normally give us, 0000/41272/7777/0000, you know, all those ones. Then you put the balance with a vote book balance of 7,500,000. But if it's at the beginning of the year and no money will be expended in that vote, you will only say with an unspent vote book provision of so. So in summary, this explains the future of a submission. So the next slide, please, let's quickly move, because the time is well spent, almost 8:30. So this is an example of a submission. Like you see, this one is coming from an officer to the permanent secretary. There are styles before now that, you know, as a junior officer, you might not write directly to your peers. That could be an officer, maybe a chief admin or a chief engineer or a chief procurement officer or a chief information, whatever. It will be outlined from the PS. The PS will be at the top. The next in line will be below. Next line will be below. That's the style as well. They will only endorse across their designation. But what we do in the public service office, you write the position, your own position, the way it is a position. You are right. If I am writing to my director, where you have PS, you have director. Then underneath, after the reference number that you can see on the right-hand side, my director will write his own position. So instead of having PS at the top now, you have PS at the bottom after the reference number on the left-hand side. Then he puts his own position. If the PS is writing his own position to the accounting officer, to the political head, she too, after the reference number of the of his own, she now address her own submission to the accounting officer, and everybody signs. So everybody will write their own position. Not that you just sign, because that's the style some people use. You just list the officers that the memo will pass through, and they will just append their signature across their designation. But to be more explicit, every officer writes his own position, and everybody sign with the title and the date. So this is a sample of a submission with the person the submission is going through. You have the heading, you have the opening. Remember again, you will not see number 1 here, but this opening of one that says, can you recall, that is the introduction. You see, can you recall the gracious approval of Mr. Governor to celebrate the year 2024 Public Service Week, which is an annual event in tandem with the 1994 Tangian Declaration, the United Nations General Assembly Resolution of 20th December 2002. That has given an introduction. Then you can now see the second line is talking about in specific times what we want to do, what the activity is all about. Same for the third paragraph and justification. You will see paragraph 3 is now talking about justification. Why do we want to do it? It's imperative to note that the gratitude of previous recipients, as these gifts have changed their life. Also noteworthy is the expectation this has created among public servants and hopeful recipients. Last year's event still lingers in the memory of various recipients who are highly appreciative of Mr. Governor's humanitarian disposition. Then your prayer. Your prayer, you will see in paragraph 6. No, paragraph 4 still just this is part of justification. Paragraph 5 actually explain explicitly what the request is. Foregoing consider, it is hereby recommended that that explain what exactly you want. Then the paragraph 6, which is in form of the prayer and the recommendation, speaks to I wish to humbly write. I wish to humbly invite you to consider and commend gracious approval of Mr. Governor through the head of service that 5 vehicles and 5 million naira each be given to the lucky senior and junior officer respectively. Submitted, please. Then you have your name. Like we said, we are writing in dated format. So now you now have your name on the right hand side, your title, chief admin officer, chief engineer, chief architect, procurement officer. You have it. You have the date and the reference number. Why is the reference number important? So that if perchance this submission is find its way out of the file that you use. With the reference number, you can easily locate that file and it will be put back into the file. The next slide that we'll be looking at quickly, I think I have maybe the last slide. This is the last slide. This is the last slide. So this slide actually speaks to official tone and languages that are acceptable or that are common in service. You know, when we came newly into the service, we have abbreviations, and I don't know, these days those abbreviations are becoming extinct. Most officers don't use such abbreviation any longer, where we have FYN for your information. We have FFNA for your further for your further necessary action. We have UFS. We have BU, that is bring up. We have PA. Then we have KIV. All those ones we don't get to use them again in service, but they are important. Then while we are writing some of these things, so official tone and language. The language must be formal. You know, we have formal language in service. Once you see a document that emanated from the state public service, you will definitely know that this is coming from a state government, because it must be polite. You must not use slangs. You must not contract. Contraction is not allowed. Like you have don't, won't, shouldn't. It has to be explained in full. Then your writing style must be respectful. Address must be you have to use a respectable tone. Like I am, normally there is no way you want to write a submission or even a memo, either internal or external, that you will not start with I am directed. That is the key word. Is a service language. Is an official tone and language in the state public service. I am directed. You cannot write on your own, because by the time you are signing, particularly correspondence or letters, you are writing for, because you will sign for permanent secretary. So you are always and always directed. It is not your own volition. You are not writing for yourself. It is I am directed, or I have instruction, or kindly note that. Please be informed that. Then certain phrases are traditional and acceptable in Lagos State official writing, such as I am to request that your attention is drawn to. Kindly accord this matter your usual prompt attention. This has to do with when you are closing. Kindly accord this matter your usual prompt attention. Please find attached the attention of the permanent secretary is drawn to, these are languages that are used in the state public service. Then finally, communication must respect administrative hierarchy. I need to stress on this. Is only a word of note, a word of warning. There is no officer, except for the accounting officer, that should write directly to the head of. I'm saying this because I am in the office of the head of service, public service office. It is only the accounting officer, assuming you are asked in the exam, or sorry, don't let me use exam, in the assessment, that writes a submission to the head of service. You cannot write submission or anything to the head of service as a junior. It has to be your permanent secretary that will write a letter to the head of service. I've seen the head of service giving some officers query for writing directly to him. So there is hierarchy, there's administrative hierarchy in the state public service. Junior officer write through their superior. That is why you always open your writing, your submission with, I have directive, or I have instruction, or I am directed to. It is always a directive. So direct communication with higher officers is discouraged unless officially approved. This will be my parting shot for all of us that will be sitting for the promotion exercise. I wish you success, and I wish that every one of us would easily move to the next grade level by the special grace of God Almighty. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, today's session looked practical. To me, it's purely practical session. And I think I should be seeing your emojis to appreciate our facilitators. Everybody just keep muted.
No, they actually, I can see an emoji coming up.
Oh, okay.
I can see emoji at my own end coming up. A whole lot of it. Emojis of love, emojis of clap, emojis of thumb
but
up.
it's not enough.
I'm
It's
seeing
like
it. They are coming up. No,
yeah,
they are quite a number.
In fact, that was why he said today's session, that this evening session is special. I think everyone can agree with me that it's special. Oh, all right. Okay. We are the question and answer segment now. That's the rules. We have rules and regulation guiding that too. If we are called on to ask your question, please, your name, your ministry, then your question straight. Please, after appreciating our facilitator, just your question straight. And I will implore you that please ask enough questions. Please ask questions. Because it's like our father has tried to give us some hints, right? And he has even sought some likely question to me. If you come across any question, how to answer it. Simple. So, like I said, I will share our channel on the chat box to join us so that you can be part of this community. And please also make use of our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Your subscription will enhance us to improve and to be part of YouTube recognition community. Like I said, this our program is free for all, and the only thing we need from you is to subscribe on our channel. At least spend like 1 hour if you really need this promotion exercise, spend like 1 hour. You have everything that entails and ask question, please. Mr. Olufemi Adesanya, unmute yourself. Olufemi Adesanya. Unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Your name and your ministry.
Okay, sir. My name is Olufemi Adesanya from Office of Works. I just want to use this medium to appreciate the speaker. My question is this: in respect of the report writing, at what stage is the executive summary will come in? Is it at the beginning or at the end, at the tail end of a report? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Adesanya. It is at the beginning. You first go with the executive summary before the final report, so that the decision taker have enough information as to what the report that will be coming in will be presenting. So the executive summary comes first before the final reports. So you will have the report is ready, but what you will present is a summary, an executive summary of what the finding has been before the final report is now presented. Thank you.
All right. Omolola Kafayat, unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Your name and your ministry.
Yes, sir. Okay, sorry, please. My name is. I would want to appreciate our speaker for a job well done. I truly appreciated the section. I have 4 questions to ask.
Sorry, your
First
name
of
and your
all, I want
ministry.
to ask, what
Hello?
is there a difference between submission and approval?
Hello, Omolola, your ministry.
My name is. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can
Hello,
hear you.
sir.
I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Office of Internal Audit.
Okay.
Office of Internal Audit.
Okay.
I said I have 4 questions.
Go ahead.
The first one is there a difference between submission and approval?
Okay.
Secondly, when is minuting sheet being used? Because
okay.
I want a clarification on that. When exactly do we use minuting sheet? Thirdly, I would want you to throw more light on white paper. Then finally, I would like a clarification if block style is no longer in use in civil service. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Omolola. So there is a distinct difference between a submission and an approval. A submission will lead to approval. This is when you've written your submission that it will be approved. So submission is different. Submission is presenting your position, is presenting your request for approval. So the submission leads to approval. Then minuting sheets. Minuting sheets are usually, most of the time are used for when you want to write a submission that will lead to approval. Some ministry do use white paper, but what we are taught as admin officer is anything that is going for approval. Once you are writing and you want to take that submission for an approval, you use a minuting sheet to get approval. But these days, you see ordinary A4 paper being used to seek approval. Then for white paper, like I said, white paper itself is a report, but it is the government decision. If you write, let's say, for example, let's say government set up a committee. Let's say a committee on, what do I use now? On the recent doctor strike, to look into the remote cause of the why they are going on strike issues to be addressed and things like that. You know, that committee report stands on its own. That committee report is not yet the government position. It is the committee position. The report that report will now lead to another report. And that report is what we call the white paper. That is the government position on that report submitted by the committee. I hope that is clear. It is the position of government on the report that committee did that was submitted to government. Then, as far as I'm concerned, lastly, as far as I'm concerned, I only know of this circular 149 of 18 November 2015. I don't know of any circular that speaks to block letter. But if there's anybody on this call that has a divergent opinion, I'm open to it. But what I know is this circular 149 of 18 November 2015 that talks about indented form of writing. Thank you, Mrs. Omolola.
All right,
hello.
Sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Adebodun Victor, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, sir. My name is Adebodun Victor.
We can't hear you. It's not clear.
Deputy Director, Ministry of Education.
Mr. Victor, we can't hear you, please.
My name is Adebodun Victor, Deputy Director. I've promoted myself.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, sir. Can you hear me now?
Okay, clearly now.
All right,
Yes,
thank you so much.
now.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Adebodun Victor, Deputy Director, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. Thank you for the impactful knowledge. My question is this. Please, I want to make a clarification between the internal and external memo. Please, thank you.
Okay. So internal, it is just English. Internal is within that ministry. Maybe Ministry of, do we have anything like veterinary department in the Ministry of Agric? Just for an hypothetical example. Let's say we have Department of Veterinary Department in the Ministry of Agric. Then we have livestock. We have livestock department as well. So a memo that is coming from the veterinary department to the livestock department or every other department in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food System is an internal memo. It is within that ministry to other units or to other department within that ministry. But external memo is a memo, maybe, let's say, let me use example of my office. During the pens down ceremony of retired permanent secretary, we normally request for file from various commission of various ministry of the file of permanent secretary. If you want to return the file, I might not necessarily use the letterhead, our regular letterhead. I can do a memo, which is external now, from this to this. I hereby return file number for I return. So it is between my ministry and that means that is just like I said, it's English, external and internal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ogumbi Alice, you have the floor. Unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Your name and ministry. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ogumbi Alice Adenike, Deputy Director for Ministry of Agriculture and Food System. Sir, I want to appreciate the facilitator for this evening's program. I really thank you, sir. But my question is this. You said that we cannot write directly to the HOS, that in the Civil Service Commission, we have single line of command. It's only the PS that can write to the HOS. So I want to ask, I want to create a scenario. Let's assume that in this routine assessment we want to do, we are given a question to write to the HOS. Sir, what do we do in that situation? Thank you, sir.
So because I have seen the head of service give query to officers that write directly to him. That is why I'm mentioning that. So in the exam, if you are told to write to a head of service, it's an exam. To write to the service, definitely you have to sign, because it might be a test for you to see, because what they'll be asking you, like I said, I'm not here to teach English. It's just the structure and the features that they'll ask. Definitely there must be a signature. Then you have to put your own signature. But if you are writing formally to the head of service, it is not acceptable. Yes.
So, sir, in the exam, assuming that thing comes up, we don't write at all, we don't attempt it.
No, you can write it now. Like I said, it is exam purpose. It's exam purpose.
Yes, exam purpose. I know practically it's not right.
No. Practically, it's wrong. No. Yes.
Yes, I know. That's why I said creating a scenario. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Akinyemi Olusegun, you have the floor. Akinyemi, unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and your ministry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Akinyemi Olusegun, Deputy Director, Agri Ministry of Agri and Food Systems.
Why do you have
Firstly, I want to
because agri people have taken over. So you must give me agri.
Firstly, I want to really. Yes, no problem, sir. I want to really appreciate the facilitator tonight. Indeed, he's a professor. Thank you so much for the wonderful work tonight. But where my concern lies, you made a point under the tone and language that have stopped nearly in the service. Now, what is the position of digital work? Because now we discussed that a lot of communication, even within the service, is being done either on WhatsApp, and before you see, yes, and a lot of communication gap. All these memo is more like is going moribund. I don't know the position, even of the service, even onto this. Thank you.
Okay. So no matter how sophisticated you want to be, you want to go electronic, you want to go electronica, you want to go digital age, there are language service. Whatever you are doing, if you're doing one message to your superior, there are acceptable tone. If you want to send anything out, you cannot send on your own volition. You have to start with I have directive or I am directed. If you do otherwise, you are taking a risk because you are not covered. You are exposed. Because there is no letter you will sign out on your own volition. You have to sign on behalf of the permanent secretary. So everything you are doing, the format still remain, and the tone still remain, and the standards still remain. We are trying to digitalize submission writing and memo writing in the public service office. It will be electronic. We are almost at the tail end of that. Even from that, it's electronic. It's on the system. I have my own page on the system. Once I see a submission that my downline writes to me, there is a drop box that I will click on, that I'll write my own submission on, and I'll still have to submit and use the acceptable service language and send to my superior. So if I still have to write electronically, even if I'm writing email on behalf of my office, I cannot just put my name direct. It must reflect that I'm writing on the delegated responsibility of a superior officer. Sure, you understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Ogunlana Limota, you have the floor.
Good evening, everybody. My upline and downline public servants of Lagos State. We are progressive and want to appreciate the effort of Mr. Barry for this wonderful
Thank you,
lecture.
Ms. Ogulano. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also to the facilitator, to the anchor, Mr. Onosoya. You will never be tired. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
My question is on the executive order, writing of executive order that will put us through.
ESCO memo.
ESCO memo. You put us through the stages and what to feature on it. But at the conclusion part or the concluding part of it, you said we are going to write the signature and the date. Is it expected of a writer to put his or her name before the signature and date, as we normally write the submission, or the name of the writer may not surface? You did not clarify that aspect for us. You only said you are going to put a signature and date on writing executive ESCO memo.
Okay, thank you. So basically, when you are writing an executive memo, it is the political head that presents such memo at ESCO. You are not the one that will present memo. You can get it. You are be the one that will send. It is like there's even a circular to the effect. Such or such position is encouraged that the accounting officer and the political head sign such memo. But it is the political head that will present. But for the purpose of our promotion, because you might be asked to write an ESCO memo. I'm not saying that is what we, before you say Mr. Barry is giving ESCO. I'm not giving ESCO. I'm just assuming, should in case you are asked to write, especially those of us on managerial level 15, level 16, level 14, you'll be asked to write an executive memo. Definitely you have to sign, and your signature comes first, then your name underneath. Normally, the way we write our normal letter, you sign and you put your name at the bottom with a reference number and a date. So basically, for an ESCO memo, you could be the one that will generate. I'm just talking about the practical times now, our normal everyday activity. You could be the one that generate that memo, but it is not your signature that will be underneath, because that memo will be presented by the political head. So the political head that will sign at the end of the day to be presented at the ESCO for deliberation. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bello Simiatu, you have the floor. Unmute yourself, Bello. Bello, unmute yourself. Are you still with us? Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir. This is Bello Simiatu Bolanle from Education District 2.
Okay, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Thanks
Good
so
evening,
much, sir.
Ms. Bello. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Please, sir, I want a clarification between memo and a letter. I was a banker before I joined this profession. And what we tend to be memo is a query that time. You'll be given memo. You have been given memo. Or they give you memo. Is it an erroneous idea that time? I want to know, sir.
So generally, there is a distinct difference between a memo and a letter. Most of
Yes, sir.
our memo that is about internal now. Most of the time,
Yes, sir.
we don't use the official letterhead. It is just
Yes, sir.
the normal A4 paper with the ministry address and the state government logo or whatever, and it is mostly internal. You know,
Yes, sir.
so maybe then the general belief was that when such is being written, it is generally referred to as a memo. But a query is not necessarily a memo. You understand? You can still refer to it as a memo, but there is a distinction between a letter. You know, a letter is addressed to a particular person. Memo too is
Yes.
addressed to a particular person, and it has its
Yes.
own subject.
Yes,
Memo
sir.
too has its own subject. But if you're writing a
Yes.
letter, writing a formal letter, writing a formal letter, you're writing a memo. Memo, like what I presented, you can see the format.
Yes.
Is from you
Yes, sir.
see from the topmost level where
Yes, sir.
the memo is generating from and where it is going. For a letter,
Yes, sir.
you have the address of the writer, the addressee, the address
Yes, sir.
where the letter is going to. You have the
Yes, sir.
heading and the person signs. So
Yes,
it is at the bottom where it is at the bottom that the writer will sign for a letter to see where to see who is actually writing it. But the address of the person that is writing to is on the left-hand top corner. But for a memo, everything is at the top, from director, admin, and human resource to director, engineering, something like that. So there's a difference between a memo and a letter. But generally, it might be referred to as a memo, because maybe that is what was obtainable then. You will refer to a query as a memo.
All right, sir. Adenike Adeyemi, unmute yourself.
Akinyemi.
Akinyemi, sorry.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Thank
evening.
you so much for the impactful lecture.
Your ministry,
You
ma'am.
have made it so simple for us. But I need more clarification on white paper report.
Your ministry,
I
ma'am.
didn't get it when you were reporting on it.
So
white paper report.
Okay, so white paper, like I said, somebody has actually asked this question, and I said there is a difference between the two of them are actually a report. Two of them are saying a report that has been written is will emanate from a committee or a panel or a commission that has been set up by governments. Here you understand? It's like, what example do I use now? The eventual report, the report that government will be presenting to the public, the report that the committee will present or the panel will present is not that same report that will be presented to the public. So it is the one that government will present, which is still part of what the initial report that the committee presented. But the final pronunciation, let me use that language, the final pronunciation of government on that report is the white paper report. That is the final report. It is either the acceptance of the report written by that committee or that panel, or the rejection of that position forwarded by that committee or that panel. So that is one distinct difference between the normal report and the white paper. So the white paper, again, like I said, it is the position, the final position of the government on that subject matter. So you understand? So why the report that was presented, let me use a practical example. Okay, let's use the train accident that happened in 2023. Let's assume the government now set up a committee, and the committee comes up with a report to say these are the causes of the accident. Maybe the driver was drunk driving, maybe the tire burst while crossing the rail line, or something happened, and they make a recommendation to say, okay, that rail line, we are recommending that the government build a bridge over that rail line, or the government should close that rail line totally. No vehicle should pass through in that area, and the committee submits that report. That report, that committee has submitted is the position of the committee. So what the government will now present, coming from that report the committee submitted to government, is the white paper. That is government position on the report presented by a committee that was set up. I hope that is clear, Ms. Adeyemi, Akinyemi.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I'm of opinion that maybe everybody should ask their question because of time, then you answer it, or should we pick it as, should we go ahead with
Anyone,
as we are doing it?
anyone you prefer. You are the anchor.
No, sir, I'm trying to look at the time because we are still going to office tomorrow. Maybe we should get the question down there, the answer it myself. Okay, sir. Oshidipe Omobusola Busayo, you have the floor.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Oshidipe Omobusayo. From the Office of Internal Audit.
Okay,
right.
Good evening.
And my question is, or should I say, I need a clarification on the fact that I have seen ESCO memo printed in yellow paper. So my question now is, are ESCO memos printed only on yellow papers, or are there other specified color papers assigned for the printing of ESCO memo? ESCO memo. Thank you, sir.
Yes, most of the time there is that yellow paper that they are used. But like I said, somebody asked about minuting sheets. These days, people do what they want. I've seen ESCO paper, ESCO memo that was written on just white paper, A4 paper, just A4 paper, not using the yellow paper. It's a tradition. There is a paper for an ESCO memo that you see confidential at the top. There is a paper. There is usually a paper. I can't remember what color it is now, either yellow or blue. I can't remember the color, but there is a specific paper that is used where you see confidential written on it. So these days, even our normal meeting sheet, the blue meeting sheet, some people don't even use meeting sheet again for approval, for submission. Most people use the white paper. So those are the changing times in the public service. But I want to believe, yes, there is a specific paper for ESCO memo. But I can't remember which color, either yellow or blue. I can't remember.
All right. Adedotun Ogunleye, you have the floor. Meet yourself. Adedotun.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
Your
for
ministry.
all your efforts, sir.
All right, sir.
Mr. Abari, my name is Ogunleye Adedotun, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems.
Ẹ̀yin ará àgbẹ̀ kí ló dé náà?
Sir. Sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so.
Sir, I just want to have a deeper understanding or make clarification on certain things, sir.
Okay.
I been chance to have some memos to the governor for approval. And from the beginning, we have it's addressed to Mr. Governor through the political head, through the PS. Then every other thing follows. And at the end of the day, we'll have this memo is that we seek the indulgence of the political head through the PS to get Mr. Governor's approval for so. That will be the end after the after the prayer. Before we now move on before the prayer. The prayer, then we'll have the prayer, and then the signature of the head of the department. But what you have said is a bit kind of different, so I just want to have a clarification concerning that, sir.
Yes, while I was presenting, I said there are styles where you have maybe Mr. Governor at the left top left hand side. You say Mr. Governor. Then via, you see via or through, you either via VAI or through THRO with colon, through the Honorable Commissioner, through the Permanent Secretary, through Director. It is listed like that. So all of them will now sign across their designation till it gets to Mr. Governor. The director where maybe an officer that writes will sign at the bottom right hand corner. The director of that person, maybe the supervising director of that department, maybe his name has been listed up. He will endorse where his name is or where his designation is. The PS2 will do same. The commissioner too will do same, and it is forwarded to the PS. I mean the governor. It is acceptable. But our whole staff in the public service office, each officer writes his own position. Most ministries that are actually working, that is the format that they use. You just see Mr. Governor through the commissioner, through the permanent secretary, through the director. You see it like that. But in my own ministry, public service office, if I'm writing, I'll write my own position, which will be the first. My director will follow. My permanent secretary will follow. They will write submission, not just sign. They will write their own submission and sign. Then it goes to the head of service. The head of service too will write the submission and sign. Then because my whole submission will be addressed to my director. My director position or submission will be addressed to the permanent secretary. The permanent submission will be addressed to the head of service. Why the head of service submission will be addressed to Mr. Governor, and it goes. But actually, like I said, I've actually seen that style that you mentioned, where you see you just write Mr. Governor through Honorable Commissioner, through Permanent Secretary. I think it's acceptable. Everybody will just endorse across their destination and it is forwarded. How did that answer your question, sir? Mr. Redoto?
Okay. Thank you, Dilo. Unmute yourself.
My name is Logun Shakiruddin, Local Government Service Commission.
Okay, sir.
Please, I want a clarification about the white paper and communique. My question is that, is the white paper the same as the communique? If it is not, what's the difference?
No.
Thank you, sir.
No, they are different. The
Yes,
white paper is just an abstract of a report, position on a report that has been written. That is the government final presentation to the public. That is the white paper report. And it's just an extract of the report. Either the government is accepting the position presented by that committee or not. Because the committee can present reports and the government will still amend that initial report. So what finally comes out from that exercise is what is called the white paper. Sure, you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the what's it called? What do you call it now?
Communique.
The communique. The communique is not the same as the white paper. The communique is our position after a deliberation or after an event. We say after we've looked at it, we recommend. Communique most of the time is in form of a recommendation. We recommend that so. That is a communique. That is you can call it a report as well, or a position after an event, or a position after a program that will be presented as the position of everybody that participated in that activity. Mr. Logan, am I able to answer your question?
Perfectly, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dada Musumola, unmute yourself. You have the floor. Unmute yourself, Dada.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Good evening, sir, Mr. Moderator.
your ministry.
My name is Dadamu Sumola.
Okay, ma.
Lagos State Health District 2, Deputy Director, Admin and HR.
All
Good
right.
evening, Mr. Barry.
My sister.
Mr. Barry, well done. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I know your stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have this situation.
Okay.
I want to talk about submission
Okay.
writing.
Okay.
An officer who has a PAMSEC, who will not want to write, who wants to sign directly. Do you understand what I'm saying? The officer will write the submission, and the PAMSEC wants his name to be written there immediately. He doesn't want to write. He said he doesn't have time to write. So once the officer writes as if it's a PAMSEC that has written. And that is how it has been. Yeah. And that is how it has been. What can such officer do?
Well, I will not want you to go into conflict with your accounting officer. But I will only advise that you tap his brain. And what do I mean by tap his brain? Write submission like the guy we use in the public service. You write your position at the top, addressed to the PS Education District 2, and you write your position and sign. You now write his own position underneath, addressed to where he wants to send that submission to. Maybe he's writing submission to where now? Maybe to Civil Service Commission, Health Service Commission, or Primary Healthcare Board. So the next submission that will follow will now be our own submission. Yours will be PS Education District, and you write your submission and close with your signature. Then underneath, you now write where he wants to write that letter to, or that submission to, maybe PS Primary Healthcare Board. You now write a position and give it to her, and I will give it to him to sign. Let's try that one and see if he will. If we will accept. I know what you are.
He doesn't want that.
He doesn't want to see your own submission
at all. Officer to
just
write
his own.
And put his name and
just give it to me and sign. That's what he wants.
Exactly.
So what you do is, if that does not work, keep a flimsy of such letter.
Definitely.
Keep a flimsy.
Definitely.
Just keep a
but
flimsy.
There is something I now devised for the officer. I told the officer that after writing, then you create another page behind that submission. Refer to the submission. PS, please find on page so submission on so for your signature.
For your endorsement.
Endorse it by yourself. That was what I devised.
Yes, that works. Honestly, that works. That works.
So I just try
once
to
you are
clarify
done
that.
with submission, just get another paper attached to that file and refer into that submission.
Submission.
Find at page, just like you said it. Find at page so submission or clinical. So definitely anybody that picks up that file knows that that submission originated from you. In fact,
Exactly.
Very perfect.
Thank you. I also want to comment on the issue someone mentioned concerning writing directly to HOS during examination. I presume that person could also write head of service through.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
You can do that as well. You can do that, but what we are looking at is the final signature at the bottom.
Okay. So the person can write HOS through the PAMSEC, through director so. Then you sign at the end of the submission.
Well, because it's still the officer that is signing, no matter even if
that's what I'm saying. Is it advisable for the officer to do that?
No, it has to
during
be
exam.
the accounting officer. But for the exam purpose, yes. Now for the exam purpose. For the example, it's okay.
Since he has written through the accounting officer.
Yes, it's okay for the exam purpose. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Thank you so much.
You know, at the exam, what they will be testing is, do you know the purpose? Do you know the clause of that's just test. Then I mentioned the English punctuation. I'm not going to teach you that one. So
Of course, we can't be teaching that.
so you
at this level.
so you are the one that will help yourself in that area.
Thank you so much, my
Thank
brother.
you,
Thank you
thank
so,
you,
so
Dada.
much. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
My alumni.
Yeah, my alumni. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah,
Mr. Moderator, welcome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time and your efforts.
Yes,
God bless you real good, sir.
Yes.
So, moderator, please, let's take the last one as the next one as the last question.
Yes.
I want to sleep. Oh.
Olajumoke, you have the
floor. I've not even prayed.
Olajumoke, you have the floor. Meet yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Highly appreciated, sir.
Your ministry.
Mr. Olumodeji from Ministry of Faith. Assistant Chief Pharmacy Technician, level 13. Going to 14. Sir, I want to know the difference between reports and documents clearly.
Documents. Report itself is a document.
Yes.
Report itself is a document.
Report itself is a document. Okay.
They are all documents. Submission is a document. Memo is a document. They are all documents.
Documents. All right, sir. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me run through the chat box. I need to pick one or two questions. Okay, you have answered most. So is the white paper the same as communique? That will be answered. Good evening, sir. I am Tafi Fatima Aderonke, Education. First of all, I want to. So you are really done. Okay. The question is, as classroom teacher and HOD, how does this topic relate to my work in the classroom? So I don't know if you are getting what Fatima.
Yes,
so
yes,
she said, as a class teacher and HOD, how does this topic relate to my work in classroom and as head of department?
As an head of department, she will need to write report to TGPS now. She will write TGPS. So you have to, it relates to everybody in the state public service. But there's no way as the head that you not communicate with your upline. So you have to write submission. Even if you want to, you as head of department, you need to send memo amongst your downline. So it relates to you. It relates to everybody. Either even a medical doctor, at least you pass message across. Especially medical doctor in the Ministry of Health, they write a lot of memo and a lot of submission. Because I work in the Ministry of Health and I know they write a lot of submission and a lot of memo as well.
All right. Daudu Olanrewaju, you have the floor.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Your
ministry,
ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you very much for this thoughtful program. Thank you, sir. Sir, my name is Daudu Fumilayo from the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources. Sir, I would like you to state the difference between ESCO memo and submission. Thank you, sir.
Okay. First and foremost, ESCO memo is the property of the Executive Council, of the Lagos State Executive Council, because it is addressed directly to the ESCO and it is for ESCO deliberation. Sure, you understand? It is for ESCO deliberation. There's submission. Submission is like for an admin officer. Submission is our day-to-day writing. Like there are issues, there are requests, there are things that you need to do within the ministry. You want to send officer on training, you write submission. You want to procure certain items, you write submission. you want to explain certain situation that happened within the ministry, you write submission. So ESCO memo is entirely the property of the State Executive Council. It is for ESCO deliberation and ESCO decision. I hope I've been able to answer your question, man.
Yes, Jamiu Jubri, quick one. You have the floor. Unmute yourself, Jamiu.
Yeah, thank you, my honorable facilitator.
Your ministry.
Thank you.
And okay, still remain Jubri Jimo Jamiu from Etiosa East, Chief Admin Officer. Sir, thank you. Mr. Abari.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can see from what justice you've done so far, you've really shown that you are a professor indeed. And you need me to understand that, okay, if I've been transferred to state mainstream now, I should be able to at least pick some file to do justice. But at the same time, I want to raise this issue on the ESCO memo. This ESCO, we have 3 different tiers of government. But from onset, from what you've been giving justice so far, I can see that you are bringing us to the, what's it called, mainstream. If you are talking about what you said so far about ESCO memo, it's all about states. You didn't mention local government. And we have ESCO 2 in local government, which the executive chairman is the head of the, more or less, like executive governor. And we have supervisory councillors. They are more like commissioners in the local government level. So I'm only scared by the time we start this, our, what's it called, examination, whatever question, and you happens to be one of our, what's it called, hope you are not going to bring this state-based question without considering we at the local government level, because like me, I've been what's it called?
My namesake.
For some years.
My namesake.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
Yes,
You have no cause to exercise any fear. You are at the local government. It is the local government service commission that will set your exam, and they will set your exam in tandem with what's enabled at the local government level. It is not the service commission that will set your own assessment or whatever. It is the local government service commission that will set yours, and I want to believe they will set it in tandem and in conformity with what is obtainable at the local government level. I don't know how local government ESCO memo looks like. I've not seen that before. I'm talking of the one I've seen at state level. So I'm very sure yours will be different from what we'll be doing at the state level. So because it is actually the local government service commission that will set your assessments. Thank you, my namesake.
Mr. Jamiu, no shaking, right? Another Jamiu.
Another Jamiu again.
Oh yeah, another Jamiu. Unmute yourself.
My director and the facilitator, thank you for everything.
We
can you
barely,
speak a bit louder?
barely hear you.
Can you speak a bit louder? I can't hear you.
My name is Oluwosile Jamiu from Education District 6.
From where?
Majorly Education District 6.
Oh, okay.
Education District
okay. 6. I can hear you. I can hear you, but at least if you can speak up a bit, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. I just want to point
now.
something out that in the classroom, we do much of departmental minutes and writing of minutes,
yes,
rather than writing of memos. Because as teachers, we don't write memos to students, and between me, maybe as an HOD or head of department, we only have departmental meetings. Then I want to make a request from the coordinator. I don't know, the briefing that we had that was held yesterday. I was barely maybe about 3-5 minutes into the briefing. I was thrown out, and I did not have an opportunity of listening into all the discussions. And the other channels were not shared where one could listen to it. I don't know whether the coordinator or the facilitator can still make that one possible for us. Thank you.
okay.
Noted.
So my response will be that, like I said to my first namesake, you are at the Teaching Service Commission. You'll be assessed based on what is obtainable at the commission. You know, the common briefing of yesterday done by Service Commission, in being the only constitutionally recognized commission. You know, every other commission derives their power from the Civil Service Commission. So they are introducing this so that every other commission too can follow suit. But I know, and I'm sure, that your own assessment will be based on what is obtainable where you work. You need to not to exercise any fear or apprehension. Thank you.
Okay, last but not the least, after Sonny, you have the floor so that we can call it a day. Sonny Olaoluwa, unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm Sonny Olaoluwa Emmanuel, Assistant
Yeah, good
Chief
evening.
Computer Engineer, grade level 13, from the Office of Physical Planning. Well,
Okay.
my question is very, very simple, sir, because on the memo, you talk about internal and external memo. And I want to ask, sir, at what point when you are writing memo, do you make, when you are writing memo, you mentioned that we numbered maybe from 1, and you categorically mentioned that at introduction level, we will not put the number 1, then you start from number 2. But at what point do we make use of Roman figure, alphabet in doing our numbering? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Yes, that's even remind me, there was actually a circular. I can't remember which circular now. There's actually a circular that talks about other knowing up from paragraph. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is graphing. Might have in paragraph 2 items that you need to itemize. That is where those ones comes under. But I don't know, I can't remember quite vividly now. Either we are advised to use Roman figure or ABC, because I'm sure there was a circular at some point that encourages us to either use, I think, Roman figure or to use letter, either letter A, B, C, C. I'll be itemized under that paragraph. So easily, when you are referring to a particular paragraph, you can say paragraph 2A. So paragraph 2A will refer to that itemized issues within that paragraph that you are referring to. I can't quite remember either we are advised to use alphabet or Roman figure, but I will surely lay my hands and find out what it is tomorrow. But yes, the numbering is actually the paragraphing. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. Then within that paragraph, maybe you have paragraph 1, and you have maybe, let's say, you want to, that your paragraph 2 is talking about the procurement of certain items, and you now need to list those items. So you can now write A, pencil, B, eraser, C, sharpener, and like that. So that's how it goes.
Okay. Thank you, my prof. In
My
fact,
convener.
thank you very much, sir.
Well done.
And at the same,
more grease to your elbow.
Thank you, sir.
Ọlọ́run á pín ẹ lérè.
Àmín, sir.
Ìwọ náà á ga lágbára Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú gbàyàn tó
Àmín.
help yìí. And
Àmín,
this
sir.
is very, very impactful. And I know people are enjoying it.
Àmín,
Thank
sir.
you for your efforts.
Yes, as our norms here on the call, as I'm talking now, please let me see your emojis. Let your emojis roll in. Let it keep on rolling. Yes, thank you. As our norms here, we call on one of the participants to, on behalf of the participants, to appreciate our prof, our facilitator. So I will randomly pick on someone to do justice to that for us. Sorry if I did not, if I'm not picking your question, especially those people on the chat box, is because of the time, so that we can all prepare for tomorrow's work. Anu Odebode, can you please unmute yourself? Anu Odebode. Anu Odebode, unmute yourself. Abanigbe Tawaliu, unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Good evening.
Good evening,
everybody. Sir. Good evening. Thank you, the moderators, and thank you very much for the wonderful presentation that made by Mr. Abari tonight. The wonderful one. We really enjoy it. We'll learn from it. And I pray to Almighty Allah to grant me wonderful wisdom, the very good knowledge. And we also the way we could do, we also the way we could do the professional interview will come out successfully. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barry.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Good night, sir. So, please check if you want to join our channel. I've sent the link to chat box, and also, like I said, please make use of our YouTube channel. Support this initiative by subscribe to our channel. Then apart from that, try to spend at least 1 hour with any of our past view to guide you, and you can ask questions through our channel anytime. The professional will attend to you there. I'll send the YouTube channel link to the chat box. Thank you very much. By Saturday and Sunday, we have another class, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm not sure of tomorrow, depending on our facilitators, but I will surely update you on our channel. Mr. Barry, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Good night. Have a lovely night rest.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. See you.
Bye. Yes, sir.